Gather round, friends, new and old, and welcome to the Powwow Podcast. I'm your host, David.
And I am your other host, Philip.
And man, oh my goodness, I'm back. You can probably hear it. I'm back in my little mini studio thingy here and recording from home across the ocean. If most of our listeners are American, across the ocean back in Europa. And wow, what a trip. What a trip I had. I'm so sad. I'm so sad. I could cry. Oh, no.
Well, let's look at the positives here. One, your vocal quality is going to go through the roof because the past couple episodes, while they have been
shaky
for you, audio-wise, they have been a little shaky, but it's all right. We only have a couple of episodes that we need to deal with that. I probably even have more than you at this point of shaky audio episodes. So that's positive number one. Positive number two, you can finally get a damn good slice of pizza. Am I right?
Hey, no, I had great pizza. I know the spots, man. That's my city. That's my city.
That's his city.
I know where to get a good slice of pizza.
You get to go.
New York can bite me.
There you go. You can now go home and see your family again. That's always nice. There's got to be. Oh, you can get a good sourdough bread bowl. There you go.
Sure,
Mama
I'll
Hoffman.
have delicious slice of sourdough bread from my mom. Absolutely.
Okay, so,
and oh my God, the smiles that I got from my niece when I got home were just delightful.
Priceless. There you go.
Yes, priceless.
So you are coming back from vacation. Let's start with the first part. We're not going to be doing a full episode here, so that's why we're not really doing the
intro. A
intro.
Little mini one. I am so tired. I've been sleeping all day, and I'm still whacked,
bushwhacked.
Not bushwhacked, but whacked.
just normal whacked. Because how long is that trip once more for anybody who's just joining us here?
If I were to fly direct, it would be 11 hours on the plane, roughly. Sometimes a little less, which is nice. And then obviously you got to commute to the airport, and there's a wait time there. You got to be there 2 hours, whatever, before. Same on the other side. You got to get through security, wait for your luggage, and so it ends up being maybe like 16 hours or something like that. I don't know, but it's not too bad direct. But I flew via Detroit.
Yeah.
And so let's see. Let me quickly do the math here. I left where I was like hanging out to go to the airport at around 2:30 or 3 a.m. Let's just call it 3 a.m. LA time. And I arrived back here at around past midnight LA time the next day. So a good 21 hours because I flew via Detroit and I had a 6-hour layover there.
And it was
5-hour layover.
You even had my condolences while you were doing that. If you're going to have a layover, I would at least, say what you will about New York. I wish it could have been New York. You could have spread that out.
I had really enough time to leave the airport anyway, though. If it was like an 8-hour layover or a 12-hour layover, then sure, I would leave the airport and go do something or see someone. Unfortunately, though, I don't know anyone in Detroit except Eminem. Sorry, buddy. Sorry, I missed you.
Oh, Marshall.
Oh, Slim. I call him Slim.
Oh, no, good. Yes.
New York, you're right. I know people there. I probably would have been able to say, hey, let's have lunch or let's have a coffee or something. And I would have had something to do. But 5 hours, 5.5, whatever it was, wasn't really long enough anyway. I don't know the city. I don't know anyone there. So I just sort of chilled. And luckily enough, I had access to the Delta Lounge, which is the bougiest thing I do when I travel.
I was going to say, once you get to that, you can't even say lounge. It's lounge. You hold out that G because it saunters its way across the room to say, you're a member. Lounge.
Literally all I was doing then was sitting in the lounge, and then I called my mom, chatted with her for a while, and then she was like, oh, okay. All right, I gotta go do this, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, oh, all right, okay. So I call my sister and then we chat for a little while, and so she goes, okay, well, I'm gonna go to bed now. And I'm like, oh, okay, bye. And then I'm like, oh, who else can I call? So I text you, and you're like, sorry, dude, I'm going to work. And then I text my friend Bella and Bella and Cole, and I'm like, hey guys, so I'm just chilling. Just call me whenever. And so they gave me a call. So I was literally just going from one phone call to the next, just trying to kill time. I spent some time editing editing the Valentine's video. Hopefully we will be able to drop that on YouTube/Instagram sometime soon. It's a full video of the episode, and because we went and did street interviews, it might actually be worth checking out. So stay tuned for that, guys.
Yes, you heard the characters. Now you can see the people as we interviewed them. Now, David, let's start here. Any highlights you want to put forth from your entire vacation?
From the entire vacation, I mean, it was.
Yes.
I'll just say on a quick note, like I had a great time also in Lexington, Kentucky for a week,
Yes, you
seeing
did.
my family. There's not a whole lot to do there, especially in the winter, but seeing family can never be underrated. Can never be over. You get it's great. It's good to see family. I'm so tired. Yeah. As for LA, man, what wasn't a highlight? We went to I did go do a day on the beach in Hermosa Beach. Is one of the best. Oh, wait, I shouldn't be saying this. I want to keep it exclusive. Check out Santa Monica Beach when you go to LA. No, I had like amazing food and just wonderful vibes in Hermosa Beach.
On the beach?
But seriously, go check out the pier in Santa Monica when you visit LA. Yeah, on the beach, and then afterwards in the evening at a restaurant there. SoFi Stadium. I went and did a tour of SoFi Stadium, and then they show you all the suites and all the cool spots around the stadium, and then the last thing they do is they let you run out the team tunnel.
No,
and the tour guides,
you got to run out.
I did, and the tour guides just go, okay, go have fun. This is where we leave you, and they just leave. They go, and then you run out the tunnel. You go like one by one as a whatever group you're with, and you run out onto the field, and then you have free reign. You can stay as long as you want. You have free reign to do whatever you want. Within reason, I guess. Yeah. But you can kick a field.
So the next day you woke up after having hibernated the entire night there, and what happened next? Right. No, I'm kidding. Left to your own devices, I'm surprised you didn't sleep on the field.
Yeah, I got to kick a field goal.
Ooh.
In SoFi Stadium, and I made it twice. They had it set up at the 10-yard line, so it was a 20-yard field goal, 20-yard field goal. So I was a bit like, please. So I made that one, and then I asked the guy, I was like, can you move it back? Can you move it back 5 yards at least? And he was like, yeah, sure. So I made that one from 25. And then I asked him to move it back again to the 20-yard line. So it was a 30-yard try. And I got it up. I got it up. It was just like a couple inches wide. But yeah, I had fun there. And then you could like do this passing drill. And then I had my friend like try to throw me a touchdown pass. And that took a few attempts. But yeah, you could do whatever. You got to go see the team locker rooms. Yeah, it was a great experience. Really cool stadium. If you're in LA, it's actually a very cool thing to see, even if you're not a sports person. It's a marvel. It's an engineering marvel. And let's see, what were the other highlights? I got to go to my favorite restaurants, but really it was about seeing my friends and feeling the city again. I mean, that city is my home. I belong there. It feels everything about like leaving just felt wrong. I mean, obviously I was so looking forward to seeing my family again. It sucks being away from them, but everything about leaving LA felt wrong. So I'm going to miss it, and I'm going to miss the people there. If you're listening and we spent some time together while I was there, then I love you guys. I really love you guys.
Well, there you go. That's very endearing. You are back in the Netherlands now, back to a hot mic. So I thought I'd take it upon myself while we're doing just a mini episode here to find an article that says 6 ways to get back into your routine post-vacation. Let's see if we can at least, if not check these off the list, David, if we can just gear you towards that, get you ready, see if there's some modifications to do to make your routine get back into normal here. All right?
All right.
Number 1, make a game plan regarding emails. Now it talks about something about, you go to return to office and you have like thousands of emails that you got to sort through and filter through, yada, yada, yada. That might not apply to you, but maybe make a game plan regarding editing, making a game plan regarding social media. Like how would you change this into yours? What could be now you're back, you need to pick up where you left off?
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I mean, it'll all depend on when I get called into work. My work schedule is always pretty random. You never know. So remind
me. Have you said on the podcast what you do for a job right now?
I work at a high school.
Nice.
Yeah. So nice. It's not really, but but it allows me certain freedoms, which is nice. And yeah, so I don't do much. my game plan right now really isn't about what I do currently at all. Because the podcast videos, for example, those I have a schedule, I have a due date, and obviously when I was on vacation, I fell off that, which you know what, not sorry about.
It's vacation.
Right, of course. But I have a due date on those, and so like I generally able to finish those, in time for when they should be posted, and that's not usually a problem for me. Editing my short film, which I shot a year and a half ago and still haven't finished, now that's a real problem. But now I worked out when I was in LA. I sat with the director of that film, my friend Gabby, and we talked
Friend of the
about it, and
podcast.
she is a friend of the podcast. She's come on before, and she was like, you know what, David, we're gonna do monthly production meetings, and I'm gonna keep you on task, which is good.
Look at
Which is good.
Gabby.
And
That's a very good
I
friend.
found new drive, and I've decided, you know what, I'll put a rough cut together. But why must I do this whole thing myself? I'm not an editor. I'm learning, sure, but I'm not like I need to pay someone who really knows what they're doing to make this thing look good and eventually release it. And we even plan to do an episode on Powwow about it,
We do.
and maybe bring on some of the actors who are friends of ours. You were in the film, Phil.
I was.
Yeah, you were. Starring
I
Philip
was.
Amrine.
Yes, I was third billing.
In a world.
I do all my own stunts in that film.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Actually, technically, probably counts as stunts. You did drive in that film. You drove a car.
Yes, I did.
Stunt driver, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's something that I really want to and need to work on. It's been something that's been like so secondary in my life right now, and I want to bring that up back to the forefront. And then
That is exquisite.
what I was going to say was my real game plan has to be about finding a new place to live.
Oh,
And I don't think I've really talked about this that much on the podcast. Obviously, my goal is to work as an actor again in a market where I can work, which would be LA. Like that's my dream,
Mhm.
Really, my goal right now is to move somewhere, at least in an English speaking market where I can work,
Okay.
and acting here has been so slow. I got this. Am I going to tell this story right now? I think I am. About a week ago, I was in LA, and I got an email from a production company that I had auditioned for out here, telling me that they had someone call in sick or something, and that they needed someone to fill in for that role in a feature film. But I needed to be on set the next day.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a real tragedy, man. I wanted to throw things, so it was so bad. Now, obviously, there's nothing I could do about it, and
Would it
I
have?
told them, hey, reach out if you need something after March 7th or whatever. Yeah, today's March 7th. After March 7th, let me know. I'd love to help out. But yeah, that was the first offer I've gotten since leaving LA, and that was really 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 difficult to deal with. Oh man, I don't want to turn this episode into a
No.
bummer.
No.
But anyway,
No.
this is my point, is that a year and a half, and that's the first role that I've been offered. And I wasn't able to do it because it was like one of the only times I've ever left the country in that year and a half. And so again, my goal is to get to an English speaking market where I'll be happy, I'll be able to work, I'll be able to fit in with the culture a little bit more, a lot more really. Yeah, so that's my game plan, I guess. Sorry, this is
That's
that
all
was
right.
long-winded. Let's move to step 2, I guess.
Yeah, there are checklist items there. Now we'll get to checking them off. All right, next one. Drink lots of water and eat tons of greens. That is number 2 here. Do you think you can
Wow.
handle drinking lots of water and eating tons of greens?
I've got the water down pat. I've been drinking as much as, like, whenever I've been awake, I've been sleeping all day. Whenever I've been awake, I've been drinking lots of water. Sure, yeah.
But have
And
you been eating greens? Now, what are your
I haven't
favorite
been eating
greens here?
anything really. I have no appetite whatsoever. That just comes with like the melancholy of, not being on vacation anymore.
Yeah, of course. All right, so we need to get you some broccoli stat is what I need. But
Well,
yes.
spinach maybe.
All right, number 3 of the 6 steps here. Get your body moving. Now, David, if it's not running, which is your preferred method of getting your body moving, can we at least dedicate you to one song of slappage and just getting that booty rotating as God intended?
I'll pop up the That Slaps playlist tonight, and
Yeah,
I'll get
there
my
you go.
booty rotating for you. No, but I if it's not running, which it will be, obviously, I will probably, I don't know, I'd like to go bouldering. I like bouldering. That's something
Bouldering.
I've done a little bit of recently, and yeah, I mean
What
that's
is
something. It's an
bouldering for
activity to
those?
get me out of the house. It's like rock climbing, but it's not. You don't need ropes because you don't go that high. You're just sort of climbing up a wall that's about 4 meters high or something like that.
Okay. All right. You're getting your body bouldering and moving.
Mm-hmm.
Number 4 of the 6 steps, and I can already say that you're doing this. Prioritize sleep. Prioritize sleep. Make sure that you get enough of it. Get back to your adjusted sleep schedule. You're well on your way, man.
Well, I woke up this morning. Well, woke up this morning. I got here this morning, I should say, thinking to myself, I got to stay up today, and then I'll be able to sleep tonight, and that'll get a head start on the jet lag. Try to get it out of the way. And then I lay down on the couch and I fell asleep. And then my mom woke me up and she was like, "You should probably eat lunch." So I was like, "Okay." So I made myself some lunch and then ate it and then sat down on the couch, started watching SNL, and I fell asleep again. And then I woke up like 5 hours later, and so yeah, let's just say I needed this day to recover from the
Oh,
exhaustion.
yeah.
Tomorrow I start recovering from the jet lag, unless I'm still recovering from exhaustion. But you're right, I have been prioritizing sleep.
Number 5, if you're feeling down, embrace it. Which you already admitted that there
I
is
am.
some element of
really am.
melancholy. So embrace it. Allow yourself to realize that all things in life are temporary. This too shall pass. Whether that's a
I
stool
appreciate
sample
that.
or if that's a feeling of melancholy, this too shall pass, my friend.
I appreciate that. I am feeling down. It's hard to not to miss all those people that I love. But yeah, here I am. I'll get over it. I will.
All right, number 6 and final one. Take breaks to breathe.
Mm.
Yes. Inhale deeply, exhale fully, just allowing your. Yes. The process begins in the background.
Yeah, I'm not much of a breather. I
That's
I'm not one
breathing
to
for
take breaks
losers.
to breathe. Yeah, I can breathe when I'm dead. Well, yeah, no, I'm not much of a breather. Maybe I should try it though. Maybe I should try it.
Well, on the 6-step program, I don't know how these work for like drug addicts and everybody else who goes and has a 6-step, 5-step, 3-step, whatever step, step
I
to the
think
left,
those
step to
ones
the
are
right.
generally like 10 or 12 steps.
Okay, so I don't know how those work, and I don't know if they need to be linear, but it seems like the latter half actually you are working your ass off towards, man. You are like
Well, we'll see. It's day one. We'll
it
see.
is. Well, you're at least acknowledging and working on them. So I am glad
Right.
that you are there. You already took my like number one biggest step, which is make sure the day after vacation you have the day off. You need that buffer day. That
Oh,
buffer
you know
zone
what's funny?
is so
I was
important.
standing on the plane this morning, and we landed at around 7:50 a.m. local time. And I was standing on the plane waiting. I was on the window seat, so I was waiting for people to move their asses so I could get my bag. And I got a call from school. They were like, "Hey, you're back in the country, right? Can you fill in for first block?" And I was like, "I'm on the plane right now. There's no way I'm getting there in half an hour. No way."
Even if I wanted to, which I
Yeah,
don't.
even if I wanted to, there's no way. There's no way. So
All right. Well, listen, guys, we didn't, even when you took a vacation, on vacation, you didn't take a vacation from here. I still say
no.
this doesn't count as you taking a vacation, but we decided to take it a little bit light, give you that buffer. Next week will be a return to force, a return to normalcy. We'll be having a full blown episode, and we'll make do with what we can. I believe it'll be my guest, the first in a couple weeks since you've been on vacation. We've been wanting to be with people, have that human interaction. So we'll come back to
Right.
the normal guest schedule and all the things that return. I think that's it. Is anything else you want to leave the people with? Any words of wisdom that you learned while on retreat?
Oh, words of wisdom. Not everyone. I'm fully aware. Not everyone has lived the way that I have in terms of the way I've traveled and moved around a lot, and I live very internationally. I have done my whole life. I've got friends all over the world. I guess I would say never take for granted the time that you have around the people you love the most. The time that I had in LA these past couple weeks were truly some of the best memories I've ever made, and with my favorite people. And now I'm gone. It's sad, and I miss them. But I'm glad that I took full advantage of every moment that I had with those people, and no regrets. And yeah, so never take for granted the time, even if it's short, with the people that you love, because you never know who might move away and be gone for a while, when you might see that person again. So really treasure those moments, any moment with people who make you happy. And I guess that's it. So are we ready to close out here, Phil?
Yes, I'm truly honored to be
Right.
on that list amongst those who are loved and in your memory banks, my friend.
Oh, you most certainly are, and it pains me that we only got to do one episode in person of
Yes.
this wonderful podcast that we
The
do
one of
together.
many, I assure you. I know that it'll
Oh,
happen.
yes, I believe you completely. I'm sure that it will happen again. We will make it a regular thing one day. But for now, we want to say thank you to a few people. First of all, Cass and Crossland and Jake Corlang for the music that you would normally hear on the show.
Yes, thank you, Tara Amstutz and Josh Hans for their wonderful contributions, both graphically and musical contributions as well.
Right, and thank you to you, the listener, for tuning in on this shorter episode of Powwow Podcast. You can find us on social media at Powwow _ podcast. I'm going back to bed soon. And yeah, so check us out on social media. We post a lot of fun videos on there, and we will be posting a full video of the episode Romancing the Rams, where we did in-person interviews along Hollywood Boulevard in Los Angeles. So that's a lot of fun. Stay tuned for that. And yeah, recommend us to your friends. They can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio. We're everywhere except Pandora, because screw you, Pandora.
Sir, it's overweight. What do you mean? I checked it 5 times on the scale. It says explicitly 50 pounds. Sir, I'm sorry, but your bear is going to have to be considered oversized luggage.